All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into some pretty fascinating financial results.
Okay.
We're talking steam turbines.
Interesting.
And, you might be thinking steam turbines, a
Right.
little old school, aren't they?
Yeah.
But trust me,
Okay.
this deep dive into Triveni Turbine Ltd, or TTL,
Okay.
is anything but boring.
All right.
We're looking at their Q3 and 9-month FY25 reports. And let me tell you,
Okay.
these guys are on fire.
What's so interesting here is that TTL operates in a market that's often overlooked,
Yeah.
but crucial to how our world runs.
Okay.
Industrial steam turbines.
All right.
We're not talking about the massive turbines in power plants.
Right.
These are smaller, but no less vital workhorses,
Gotcha.
powering industries from sugar and steel
Okay.
to food processing.
Interesting.
TTL is an Indian multinational,
Okay.
one of the top 2 global players in this space,
Wow.
with over 6,000 installations
Okay.
in over 80 countries.
So they're a big deal in the steam turbine world.
Yeah.
But what makes these financials so exciting?
Well, for starters, TTL just posted their highest ever quarterly revenue and EBITDA.
For those of us who don't spend all day
Right.
analyzing financial statements,
Yeah.
what exactly does EBITDA tell us?
Good point. EBITDA stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
Okay.
It's a way to gauge a company's core operating performance,
Okay.
stripping away things like accounting and financing decisions.
Gotcha.
And in TTL's case, their EBITDA jumped a whopping 30% year over year.
Wow.
This means their core operations are incredibly strong.
Okay.
To top it off,
Okay.
their 9-month figures tell a similar story.
Okay.
Record revenue, increased profitability, and a robust order book.
So growth is the name of the game.
Yeah.
But what's driving this success?
Yeah.
Is it just a good business model?
Right.
Or is there something more at play?
It's a combination of factors,
Wow.
and here's where it gets really interesting. The overall market for steam turbines is actually shrinking,
Really?
which might seem counterintuitive given the world's growing energy demands.
Right.
But here's the catch.
Okay.
The segment, TTL, operates in turbines under 100 megawatts,
Okay.
is not only stable,
Why?
but growing.
Okay. That is interesting.
Yeah.
Why is that specific segment bucking the trend?
Think renewable energy.
Okay.
The rise of biomass, waste-to-energy, and other thermal renewable sources is driving demand for smaller-scale turbines. And that plays right into TTL's sweet spot.
So they're riding the wave of the energy transition.
Uh-huh.
But are they just benefiting from a lucky market trend?
Right.
Or is there more to their strategy?
TTL isn't just riding the wave.
Okay.
They're actively shaping it.
Okay.
They offer solutions for both traditional industrial applications and renewable power generation.
So they're not putting all their eggs in one basket.
Exactly.
That's smart.
Plus, they're heavily emphasizing aftermarket services like spare parts and upgrades. Okay.
That taps into the growing need for efficiency and cost savings,
Right.
which is a smart move in any economic climate.
And I can't forget to mention their recent notice of award
Oh, yeah?
for a 160 megawatt hour energy storage system using CO2 technology.
Interesting.
Now, that sounds pretty cutting edge. What's the story there?
That notice of award is significant. It showcases how TTL is looking beyond conventional steam turbines and venturing into new territory, long-duration energy storage, and this CO2 technology they're using.
Okay.
Particularly interesting.
Okay. Break it down for me.
Sure.
How does CO2 technology even work in energy storage?
It's a relatively new approach, and that's what makes TTL's move so noteworthy. Essentially, the system captures and compresses CO2,
Okay.
heating it to a supercritical state where it acts like a high-density fluid. This heat can then be used to drive a turbine and generate electricity when needed,
Okay.
acting as a giant thermal battery. It's a clean and efficient way to store energy from renewable sources like solar or wind.
Helping to overcome their intermittency challenges.
So they're not just providing turbines.
Right.
They're helping solve the problem of how to store renewable energy.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty big deal.
Exactly. It positions TTL as a key player in the broader energy transition.
Right.
And that has major implications for investors.
Okay.
Their commitment to sustainability, green manufacturing, local sourcing,
Yeah.
and now this innovative energy storage solution all adds to their attractiveness,
Yeah.
especially for those focused on ESG investing.
ESG investing, that's environmental, social, and governance, right?
You got it.
It seems like more and more investors are taking those factors into account these days.
Absolutely. Investors are increasingly recognizing that sustainability isn't just about doing good.
Okay.
It's about smart business.
Gotcha.
Companies with strong ESG practices tend to be better managed, less risky,
Right.
and ultimately more profitable in the long run.
Okay.
TTL's success demonstrates that.
So for investors looking for growth potential and a company aligned with the future of energy,
Yeah.
TTL seems to be ticking all the boxes.
They certainly seem to have a lot going for them, but let's not forget that their expertise in steam goes beyond just generating electricity.
Okay.
Think about all the industries that rely on process heat or use steam in their operations.
Okay.
Pharmaceuticals, textiles,
Yeah.
even desalination plants.
Okay, I'm starting to see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
Could you give me an example of how TTL's technology could be applied in one of those industries?
Imagine a pharmaceutical company needing high-temperature steam for sterilization processes.
Okay.
TTL could provide a customized, highly efficient steam turbine solution that not only meets their needs,
Okay.
but also helps them reduce energy consumption and their environmental footprint.
Interesting.
Or consider a textile factory using steam for dyeing and finishing fabrics.
Okay.
TTL could help them optimize their steam systems, improving efficiency and reducing costs.
So TTL could become a partner in helping these industries become more sustainable and cost-effective.
Exactly. And their focus on decentralized power generation opens doors for even more interesting applications.
Like what?
Think about bringing reliable, clean power to remote communities,
Okay.
or powering industrial facilities in areas lacking access to the traditional grid.
Wow.
The potential for social and economic impact is huge.
This deep dive is really making me think differently about the role of these seemingly niche industries. It's easy to overlook companies like TTL,
Yeah.
but they are often tackling big global challenges
Right.
in a practical, impactful way.
That's the beauty of it. They're not just making headlines, they're quietly developing solutions that can change how we live and work.
So we've seen TTL excelling in the steam turbine market, embracing the energy transition, and potentially impacting a variety of industries far beyond their core business.
Right.
But how does all this fit into the bigger picture?
Yeah.
What can we learn from TTL's approach? That's what I'm hoping to uncover as we wrap up our deep dive. So we've covered a lot of ground in our deep dive into Triveni Turbine Ltd. We've seen their impressive financial performance, their strategic moves in a changing energy landscape, and their commitment to sustainability. But I'm curious, what does all of this tell us about the bigger picture? What can we learn from TTL's success?
TTL's story intersects with some major global trends that are shaping industries and economies worldwide. One of the most significant is the growing demand for decentralized energy solutions. We're moving away from relying solely on large, centralized power plants.
Yeah.
And companies like TTL are stepping up to provide smaller-scale, localized power generation options.
So instead of a few massive power plants serving entire regions,
All right.
we're seeing a shift towards more distributed energy sources closer to where the power is needed.
Exactly. And there are several factors driving the shift. The rise of renewable energy sources like solar and wind, the need for more resilient and flexible grids, and the desire for greater energy independence, especially in remote areas.
And TTL is perfectly positioned to capitalize on this trend, right? With their focus on smaller scale turbines suitable for all sorts of applications.
Absolutely. They're not just providing equipment, they're enabling a fundamental change in how we generate and distribute energy. And this ties into another major trend, the global energy transition.
Right.
The world is moving towards cleaner energy sources, and TTL is playing a role by offering solutions for both industrial processes and renewable energy generation.
Their work with biomass and waste to energy is a great example of that.
Yeah.
Those areas have huge growth potential as we look to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels. It's also interesting how TTL's success highlights the importance of specialization.
Yeah.
In a world where companies often try to be everything to everyone,
Right.
TTL has thrived by focusing on what they do best, steam turbines.
It's a valuable lesson for any business. Sometimes being the best in a specific niche is more effective than trying to be a jack of all trades. TTL has become a global leader in their segment by providing a comprehensive range of products, services, and expertise tailored to their customers' needs.
This deep dive has been a real eye-opener for me. It's easy to get caught up in the headlines about flashy new technologies,
Right.
but it's companies like TTL working steadily behind the scenes that are often making the biggest impact. Their combination of strong financials, smart strategy, and commitment to sustainability is pretty impressive.
They are a model for others to follow. They're not just talking about sustainability, they're weaving it into their operations and decision-making processes.
Well, there you have it. We've taken a deep dive into Triveni Turbine Ltd, exploring their record-breaking financials, their savvy navigation of the evolving energy landscape, and their commitment to a more sustainable future. We've even touched on how their story reflects some major global trends that are shaping the world around us.
It's been fascinating to uncover the story of a company that's quietly but powerfully contributing to both industrial progress and a greener future.
And as we wrap, we want to leave you with one final thought. Think about the industries or sectors you're most interested in. What companies are operating behind the scenes, quietly innovating and shaping those fields? Take a moment to explore their stories. You might be surprised by what you discover if you're curious to learn more about Triveni Turbine Ltd. We've included links to their full financial reports and investor presentations in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.